how to get your prospects dash clients dying to do business with you without having to be awkward, without having to use outdated techniques. So you're gonna love it. So how do we get to the point where your prospects or your clients, they are chasing you down? Like literally they're dying to do business with you. And I'm gonna share with you 5 tips. So in these 5 tips, you guys, are my biggest takeaways from Ray Higdon's Mastermind crew. So in case you don't know, Ray Higdon is seriously one of the best marketing and business minds that I've ever worked with. And so my husband John and I, we've been participating in his mastermind for 9 months now. And can I tell you that some of the biggest breakthroughs that we've experienced in business period has been over the last 9 months. So we just got off our cruise ship literally a couple of days ago. I am just buzzing with the goodness. So let's get into it, right? All right, you guys, number 1. In order for you to build a solid business, number 1 is you have to be the type of person that people want to follow and do business with, right? So you got to take a look at that. And what I would recommend that you do there is you continue to grow. So personal development, I call that elite life activities, okay? So reading 10 pages a day, listening to 30 minutes of audio, doing your gratitude journal, meditating, praying, all of those essential activities, I recommend you make a daily habit. So that way you continue to grow, you continue to become the best version that you possibly can be. So the foundation has to be solid, right? You can dress up your skill set and you could be an awesome closer, but deep down inside, if you are, not the person that people want to spend time with, maybe you're a little bit negative, let us call it. Nobody wants to hang out with a negative Nancy, right? Or somebody that's ungrateful. So let's begin with the basics. So that is number 1 tip. Number 2 is you want to create free content that solves problems to build your audience, okay? And then once you begin to build your audience, here's the beautiful thing that happens. You're going to begin attracting leads, right, from inside that audience. And so the way to do this, right, there's a law, universal law called the law of reciprocity. And here's what it states us, that whenever you give and give and give, the people that continue to receive, they feel almost obligated to give back to you in some shape or form. And so if you also get this, if you also focus on solving people's problems, I want you to picture this. Have you ever been in a situation where you have like this huge problem, could be minor problem, but nonetheless you have a problem, right? And you're looking for a solution diligently. Maybe you're surfing the web, maybe you're on Facebook, maybe, and all of a sudden you find a solution, and the person that gave you the answer, don't you now look at this person as your hero? Like they put a band-aid on whatever was bleeding in your life. And so I want you to think about that. Don't just create content just to create content. Let's also think about what are the problems that my skill set can resolve, and therefore the more content you create. And the key to success with content, you guys, in the beginning, you have to make it short videos, right? Especially on Facebook, 1-2 minutes max. Of course, it's different here on Periscope. We love to broadcast a little longer, which is cool, right? That's how we roll here in the Periscope land. But here's the deal. You have to earn the right to talk a lot, to share your story. Initially, you got to get in there, you got to troubleshoot, you got to solve problems, you got to stay consistent. In order for you to build an audience of people that love you, it's going to take consistency, right? Kind of like in parenting. I love using parenting analogies because this is something we as parents, it's like, it's like the jungle of goodness that we appreciate, right? So get this. So would you agree that as a parent, it's when you're laying the foundation for your child to succeed, it's all about consistency, right? In my house, we have 5 rules of operation. And can I tell you, just repetition is the mother of learning. Continual education around that topic is what works. And so when it comes to you programming and laying the proper foundation with your audience, they have to see you consistently show up, because that's what shows that yes, you're serious. It's also a sign of a leader, right? Would you agree a leader is somebody that shows up whether they feel good or not? Like nobody wants to follow someone who is hot one day and cold the next, who is fired up for a week and then gone for 3 weeks, you know? So think about that. So number one, you got to be the type of person that people want to do business with, that people want to interact with, that people want to follow. Number two, create free content that solves problems to build that audience, to build your list, to build your, your, what is it called? Your tribe. Okay, now number three, so if you want to monetize, I recommend you do this step number 3, and that is you have to connect with the leads to determine the needs, and then you can figure out how to best solve their problems and therefore serve them, right? But it is so very crucial that you connect with those leads, that you have personal conversations, that you pick up the phone, that you're a human, that you talk to them like you would talk to your best friend, right? And ask him, hey, how can I best serve you, right? What are you struggling with right now? Like, and you want to go in there. It's kind of like when your child comes to you and they're not in the best mood. What do? We go, dude, like what happened? Talk to me. Like, where are you at, right? And then the more that we get them to talk, the more we go, oh, all right. So first of all, now we demonstrated that we care and we don't have commission breath, because we're not just connecting to pitch them on whatever it is we got going on. We have to first listen. We have to be a human. We have to listen. We have to ask questions. That's why we have 2 ears, 1 mouth. We got to listen. And then we go, okay, so here is kind of what I would recommend, And a lot of times that could be them joining your business or buying your product, or maybe you refer them to somebody, or maybe you have an affiliate product that could be the perfect solution for where they are. Does that make sense? Number 4, you have to really put your blinders on. And if you're building a business right now that's not making a 6-figure income yet, you got to put your blinders on and you got to build that business. Like 90% of your focus needs to be to create results in that business. Once you create a 6-figure result in that business, here's what's going to happen for you. Then you can catch a bird's eye view of your business and identify, okay, so what are the income producing activities that only I can do, which should be 2 to 3? And then what are the activities that I'm doing right now that are repetitive in nature, that maybe, I can create a system, maybe some video content around, right? Some sort of system in place to leverage, so you don't have to repeat the conversation, right? And then what are maybe some of the activities that I can even outsource to an assistant that you can pay $4 to $5 an hour to do? See that? But that stage happens once you create that 6-figure income in that business, because now like you have cut your teeth in that business. You now know the systems, you know the operations, you know what it takes to get the bottom line to where it needs to be. And now you go, okay, so let us take a look, operationally on how can we, be more productive, maybe even take 10 hours out of that business because you have people or systems in place. And now you can have some fun and diversify, right? A lot of people come to John and I and they go, how do you guys do what you do? We've built 9 different income streams, and I'm here to tell you the way that we did it is at first we zoomed in on one business and we created a 6-figure business, and we created some systems around it. We realized our income producing activities in that business, and then we were able to go, hey, okay, so what can go alongside with that business portfolio that doesn't conflict, right? That's the word, that doesn't conflict with the first one. And then, okay, so, and then we know, because we know how to attract leads, we know how to convert leads, it becomes really easy from there. When you put solid effort into your business, into your marketing, into creating your audience, what's going to happen for you as well is that you can also take those huge leaps. See that? And that's number 5. Number 5, get this. This is how you can kind of create some shortcuts. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to work hard. You're going to continue to do your daily method of operation. Does that make sense? But what's cool is you can identify some exposure agents. Okay, I want you to think about that. Exposure agents. Well, what does it mean? Okay, so what if you had an opportunity to have dinner with Darren Hardy, or have lunch with a big influencer like in your niche, and now maybe you got an interview and they shared that interview to their whole audience? See that? So see how you can get huge amounts of exposure just because right? Just because you're diligent in your before activities. Now, here's what I will also say here as well, that if you get a lot of exposure, but you don't have the foundation, like you're not creating daily content, you don't have really kind of like the personality, like the goodness of you as a person to attract the people, you're going to continue to struggle, which is why I talked about the first 4 things are very crucial.